O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
A Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla. Not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our grand bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items. Same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll. Coming to you live, baby, from Acura of Pembroke Pines. Tell them, Alarmo. Look over there, Alarmo. All right, there. You gotta look over there, Alarmo. Welcome aboard, folks. Time to rock and roll. I was just talking to Larry Schlossberg and Tony Stampone. Tony's also on Tua. Most are down on Tua. I'm just down on the organization because they create a terrible environment for their players. But what are you going to do? Good morning, one and all. Hope you all are doing well out there. Hope everything is going in your favor. How you feeling? You feeling good?
I'm good. Can't complain. Today's a good day. My dad's birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Dad. I know.
Happy birthday, Stoney Stanley. I don't know if he's on the chat board. Oh, he's in there? Happy birthday, sir. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. He can drink now, right? He hit 21?
Finally legal.
I like it. I like it. He's going to do it. I like it. He's going to have his first drink. I'm excited for Stoney Stanley. I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm going to do something odd today. I'm going to go get some euros. So I'm ready for my trip on Tuesday. As long as they don't cancel it, of course. So far, I'm checking my app, checking my American Airlines app to make sure, so far it says I'm still going to Madrid. Oh, man. It's kind of like Russian roulette because they're eliminating like 10%. And we're one of them. Miami is I'm flying out of Miami. Miami and Fort Lauderdale are going to be tagged. Fort Lauderdale too. Yeah, West Palm did not get tagged. So yeah. So right now, I think I'm safe for Tuesday. I think I'm safe for Tuesday. Now in another week or two, although I think my prediction is they were going to get this thing resolved this weekend. And there is some movement going on, but we'll see if it happens between these two idiot parties that bring us all down. I'm not a fan of either. That's why I call it the Schumer shutdown powered by Trump. See, that way, everybody's just pitching in, because I don't give a crap about either party. I crap on both parties is what I do. So, it's kind of the way it goes. I'm about you guys. I'm about Americans, not about silly ass parties. So we'll see if these silly ass parties figure some stuff out and get it done, or keep bringing us down as a nation as they always do. Anyway, David Furones will join us. We'll have a little fun. We'll talk about the Panthers win. We've got the Heat getting ready for the Hornets tonight. Inter Miami tomorrow. Will they choke or will they survive and move on? You think they're going to choke? It kind of feels like a choking moment, right?
It's just setting up for it.
It is kind of
just setting up for it.
It is kind of
letdown at the end.
I kind of get that same feeling too, that there's kind of a choking moment coming, overall.
I do hope I'm wrong, but I feel like it's setting up for that.
Inter Miami's in a place where they're in a place like no other. It's either you win the cup or the season's a failure. It's not even getting eliminated in the first round. You can't get eliminated, period, in any round. You need to win the cup. And if you don't win the cup, you're an outright failure. With the amount of money you're paying that team compared to everybody else, you should be trying to win your second cup is what you're supposed to be doing right now. Okay? You're supposed to be like the Panthers. Okay? That's where you're supposed to be. When you're the number one seed by far, running away with it last year, and you get eliminated in the first round, that's pretty embarrassing. And by the way, you better win now because Tata will be back for you. Oh, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy. Crazy. Oh, what else do we have going on? By the way, anybody watching in the Utah area, I saw Brad Gillis of Night Ranger on social media. Tonight, Night Ranger is in the Tuacahn Amphitheater in Ivins, Utah. And that thing looks really cool. And it's also called Tuacahn, by the way. But it looks like I've been to Red Rocks, and it gave me that Red Rocks feel, like it's an amphitheater cut out of the mountain, you know? And I don't know if anybody that is tuning in, watching, or by the way, any of you out there, music nuts, you ever traveled to Utah, Ivins, Utah. It's called the Tuacahn Amphitheater. Pretty cool. Looks like there's that place in Seattle. What's it called? The Gorge or something like that. That's a really cool amphitheater. There's certain ones that you got to say, these are bucket list. I got to go. Maybe that one's, I saw that. I never knew about that one this morning. And I saw it and I go, man, that could be a bucket list one day when I go out there at Utah sometime. Anyway, what else do we have here on the chat board? Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Smash it, smash it, smash it. And, of course, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as always. And Bitcoin right now, approaching 101. It went back under 100 again this morning. So countdown has restarted once again. So blessings for those of you that caught the falling knife at 99. Good for you. By the way, it is November 7th, Friday, and it is day number 18,924 since the Miami Dolphins won the Super Bowl, and it's day number 8,708 since the Miami Hurricanes were national title winners. All right. So just a little reminder there overall. What do we got here? Jeff in Long Island, Dolphin Dave. Let's see. Oscar, Cosa Nostra. Christian DiMartino, Lenny Pena, Frankie Fresco, Robert Caruso, Jay Gelfin, Ty in the Bronx, Gus 1388, Josh, James Vivinetti, Alexis Palenzuela, Lisa Rose. It's Bill's Mafia takeover in Miami. God help our Finns. It's like Buffalo South. Well, it is what it is. We get what we deserve, unfortunately, man. You know? What are we going to do? It's not our fault. You know? It's Stephen Ross, and he screws it up. It's not your fault, Lisa. It's not any of you out there. It's not anybody that goes to games. It's not anybody that talks about it or writes about it or anything. Blame them. And that's it. We do our part. We still follow the team. We'll still watch the team. We'll still root for the team. You know, I mean, we're about to go into a stretch that there's nothing for the next 2.5 years. Nothing whatsoever going on. We're about to go into a stretch that continues to test us as Dolphin fans. Think about that. You got no shot at anything this year. You're going to take cap hits that are enormous for the next 2 years. You're going to add a new GM, a new coach, a new schemes, all that kind of stuff. You've been through the drill over and over again. So there's no light at the end of the tunnel for 2.5 years. It's not about winning playoff games or even winning seasons. None of that shit's going to happen. You know that, and I know that. I mean, unless you want to lie to yourselves. So we got to wait, and we don't even know where we're going. We hope that whatever teardown goes on and then whatever rebuild goes on over the next couple of years, and you're going to have extra picks. Well, you know, hopefully you pick some really good players and you build a foundation. 3 years from now, if you don't, where are we again? We're back at square one again. You know what I mean? So be good, my brother. So it's interesting how we're about to go through another transition that we have no idea where we're going. We have no idea. We could be all the hopeful we want, like we've been for every other team. We've been hopeful for every other team. And we're not going to stop being hopeful. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, of course I hope we win, but deep down inside, you got to know what is really going on here. And that's the rough one. That's the rough one. All right, let's do it. The one and only David Furones and our Welt and Rheaume Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rheaume Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welt and Rheaume has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you doing, my brother? How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a while. We had the mini bye off the Thursday night game. We had all those appearances close together on the short week, and then now it's been about a week and a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, a lot of changes, changes that don't make any sense, but it is what it is. Stephen Ross continues to do things ass backwards, but as I've already described, I think I know what ended up happening. I actually believe that Stephen Ross did Chris Greer solid, and he got him out of this mess, so he doesn't have to answer questions anymore, and it's over for him. And I think Mike McDaniel, the silliness about keeping him, that's not going to happen. What he's doing is he's keeping Mike McDaniel around because he already paid him for the next 4 years, and he's going to have to deal with the hell of answering questions every day and all of that. And, look at Chris Greer. If you would have traded just Phillips and nothing else, look at what happened with Champ now. Champ ends up getting all kinds of hate. And now Chris Greer doesn't have to get any hate, doesn't have to answer any questions. He's probably off in some Caribbean island relaxing and enjoying a drink. So I think what he did was he did him a solid, and he put Mike McDaniel in the hellhole for the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mike McDaniel will continue to have to answer for this the rest of the year now. And really, he was the one before because Chris Greer as a GM very rarely would have media sessions. So oftentimes when we had roster questions, it had to go to the head coach. Including right now, because we still haven't spoken to the interim GM, Champ Kelly. I believe at some point we will, but normally I feel like in this case where he was just brought on and yes, he got through the trade deadline, that's fine, let him handle that first. But yeah, I definitely would have liked to have been introduced to him this week and then, get his thoughts on the trades and or the trade singular. And then, yeah, you were about to correct me on that. And then and maybe the close calls, those were probably plural as far as the ones that weren't made, the trades that were not made. So, yeah, I would have loved to hear from him already, but maybe that comes down the road. But then you ask Mike McDaniel, and then he's trying to just deflect to we are focused on Buffalo. And it's like, yeah, well, you just had a major trade deadline after a shakeup with the GM fired, the one who you were tied at the hip with for your first 4 years, 3.5 seasons. And then, yeah, now Mike is the one to stick with it for the whole year. And yeah, I'm not sure if I know the reporting out there is okay, at least through this season. Now I do know Stephen Ross really does genuinely love Mike McDaniel, but let's just be real. If you were to decide right now, okay, at the end of the year is when we're going to let him go, then this is how you would frame it now. Just if you were doing that, you would say, oh yeah, you wouldn't like put that out there right now. And then everyone's like, okay, so he's just a dead man walking. He's just going through the motions of this year. You would still put it out there that, oh, at least this season we're going to stick with him. And then, who knows what happens Black Monday. Consider that 2021, Brian Flores had a 7-game win streak, won 8 of his last 9, and then he was still fired on the morning of Black Monday. So his fate had to have been sealed long before that.
I know. We told you on the show his fate was sealed. Yes, we actually, foreshadowed that one, baby. So, but on this one, it's just he is dead man walking. There's no doubt about it. They're going to make sweeping changes. I think they will part ways with Tua, actually, because that's how you're going to be able to attract whoever you want. Because whoever you want will come in and will have a mulligan for the first year or two, because they're going to have some serious cap hits since they get rid of Tua. I think that's what's going to end up happening. The GM that will come in it'll be before the June 1st thing, so you'll have plenty of time to do that whole Tua move, and he'll make that Tua move, and then that'll allow him 2 years of mulligans to just draft and collect. And then, like I said before you came in right now, we're headed now for 2.5 seasons of reset, but you don't know where you're going to be at the end of 2.5 years. Well, in year 3, will you be ready to start to turn a corner? And did you build something through those 2 years with your draft picks and all that kind of stuff? Or did you fail in your drafts and all of a sudden 3 years from now we're looking at it and you're at, ground zero again? But I think the only way you move forward PR-wise and everything is to clean house. If you bring any baggage back from this year, I think it's a detriment for your future.
Yeah, I think the GM, whoever is hired, they'll have a big say in what they do with Tua. Of course, probably the primary say, and I would lean toward just taking the big hit, because also on top of everything that you just mentioned, that would really set yourself up for a good tank job in 2026.
And seven. Really?
Yeah, right. Taking it one season at a time. But you have the 99.
I know. You and the editors want to keep the hopium bottle on the side. I get it. You guys need the hopium bottle.
No. Yeah, we all understand that if you tank in 2026, it's highly unlikely you are competing in 2027, especially after you're still getting away from everything that you just had to purge out of the building from the previous regime. So I think everyone understands that, although it was pretty shocking in 2020 when the team suddenly was 10-6 after the 2019 rebuild. So sometimes it can't happen quickly. Shoot, even the Denver Broncos, it happened very quickly for them after they purged the Russell Wilson contract. Bo Nix gets to the playoffs as a rookie. He's not playing that well. I think anyone who saw the Thursday night game is like, all right, it's the defense, not Bo Nix. But
that's one thing. That's one thing we've learned with Sean Payton. He kind of inherited the base for a good defense, right from the get-go, and then so they've added to it also. But they had a good defense. That was a good foundation for them to start. And in that teardown, it's like, okay, I'm getting here, and we got good defensive talent, young defensive talent, and that thing has developed very well on defense, bro. They are monsters on defense.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. But if you part ways with Tua, just clean break, you make it the Mike McDaniel, the Tua, get rid of it, all of it. Sure, it goes upwards of $42 million against your cap for next season, and the 99.2 of dead money, but that's a good formula for really just legitimately not being able to construct a talented roster together to then just say, all right, this is the start of the rebuild. You're most likely going to end up with a high draft pick. And then if you're not looking at the quarterbacks in this draft class, especially if, let's say, they win some games, put themselves out of the top 5, but they're still top 10 in the draft, whatever the case may be, then you still look after 2026 at the 2027 quarterback draft class and maybe can find your franchise quarterback there, your young quarterback that you build around, while already having some pieces where maybe you get one of those top talents at another position in this draft. You have Patrick Paul as a building block, as a left tackle who maybe could be blocking the blind side of a right-handed throwing quarterback down the road. You're sticking with Jaylen Waddle. You didn't send him off they wanted a first-round pick. I don't think anyone in the league was going to be giving up a first-rounder for Waddle.
Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, you have like some pieces you'll keep with, and then you can then go ahead and have a.
Well, if you draft a young quarterback, David, it would be really dumb to trade Waddle now. He's a veteran receiver now. Now he's been in the league a few years now. If you draft a young quarterback, let's just say for shits and giggles, you end up with the number 1 pick. You'd grab the Indiana kid, okay? All right, so you traded Waddle, and now who does he throw to? He doesn't have anybody. Now you got to go draft another young guy and all that, and then the young guy has to grow up with the young quarterback. No, dude, no. Right now, Waddle is super valuable because if you draft a quarterback, whether it's this year or next year, let's just say, now you have a veteran receiver that knows the league and can bring that guy along a lot better. I think Waddle becomes even more valuable moving forward. Plus, dude, this whole thing of fire sale, which was stupid, you got to keep, if you do have some good players, keep them, bro. How are you going to be somewhat competitive next year? You're going to give away what little you have? That makes no sense either, dude. I mean, if you're going to build on something, start building on some of the young guys that you do have. And you can build on the Patrick Pauls. You can build on Waddle. You can build on Chop. You can build on HN. You can build on these guys. You can actually have a future with these guys. So why I don't understand this whole necessity to want to unload players that can actually help any regime out there that takes over.
Yeah, certainly. I would have thought maybe more of the veterans could have gone. Yeah, I mean, we know Bradley Chubb was out there. I know from the beginning we were hearing it was one of Chubb and Phillips, one of them. So that is how it turned out. But I know it kind of opened up to more once Greer was gone, and then it was Champ Kelly, and he was listening on basically everyone. Although that listening really turned into we're only taking a draft pick that is around better than what anyone is willing to offer, So
and by the way, the Phillips one should remind you they were willing to also pay for that. So you were going to give up a second or a first rounder that they wanted for whatever player, but they were going to pay the price for it. It wasn't like you were just going to give up the pick and they weren't going to pay some of that salary or a lot of that salary. So that's the other thing. They were willing to buy these picks because the trade for Phillips was really, it's not a great trade, actually. When you're paying nearly $6 million for the third rounder, dude, you don't pay. What's the contract that a third rounder gets? Can you look it up for me? Look up last year's Spotrac, whoever, a third rounder. What the hell is their total contract? That's like, it's not even, it's kind of an imbalance to the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? You overpaid for a pick, basically, is what you did.
Yeah, but overpaying now when you already are not looking to compete in the present time. So
what do we got here?
Well, it says a third round NFL draft pick salary for a 4-year rookie contract typically falls between 5.5 and 6 million.
Total contract?
Yeah.
So you're going to end up drafting the guy and you're going to pay $12 million. So you're going to pay double because you bought that pick. You know what I mean? I just want to add the finances to it. The money doesn't matter to us. It's Stephen Ross's money. $6 million that goes here into the cap this year. But next year, that third round pick will cost you that $6 million. So you're really paying double for that third round. It's really bad business, overall. It's just a billionaire that has money, it's just, he could just throw it around like it's nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? So good for us as fans. and good for whatever general manager gets it. But let's not crown that deal like, oh my God, you got a third rounder for Jaylen Phillips. Economically, it wasn't really a good deal. It was really a dumb deal.
Yeah, Stephen Ross is able to go ahead and pay a team to take a guy, and then also the draft pick. Well, that's kind of like our grocery decisions. Like, okay, I'll buy this even though I usually don't. Even when it's not on BOGO, I'm going to go ahead and still buy it because I'm going to treat myself.
You used to buy the fake crab, but this time around you wanted to buy the real crab.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's what's going on now, right?
Yeah, that's the analogy. Yeah, exactly.
You were making your homemade sushi with that fake crab like they do at the sushi place. And now you said, no, I want to be a big shot. I want the real crab. And now you spend a fortune for that sushi. So, yeah, exactly. That's what
I'm going to treat myself. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it goes against this year's cap. So what more does it matter? They're 2-7, you know. So
it's not our money. Yeah, it's not our money. But I just don't want to make it sound like, oh, my God, what a wheeler and a dealer. No, dude. You did what the Browns did years ago when they paid like $15 million for a second-round pick or something like that. You remember that? What was the quarterback that they traded? Or it was some kind of move. You remember that move that the Browns did? It was Osweiler.
Really?
I think it was like an Osweiler move that Denver dumped Osweiler to Cleveland, and Cleveland paid his salary, and they got a second-round pick in the process or something. The great Sean Stanley will find out for me and get that. But I remember this. I don't remember exactly the particulars, but basically Cleveland paid like $15, $16, $17 million for like a second-round pick in order to take on Osweiler's contract, I think it was, or something like that. I'm not sure. Something like that, or somebody's contract. Maybe it was somebody else. What do we have here?
I got the Texans and the Browns with Osweiler.
There it is.
It said the Texans are trading quarterback Brock Osweiler to the Browns, a move that will take Osweiler's $16 million guaranteed salary off of Houston books. Cleveland will also receive the Texans' 2018 second-round pick, 2017 sixth-round pick. Houston will get a 2017 fourth-round pick and save $10 million in salary cap space.
Salary cap.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That's what fat people do.
Yeah,
we have salary cap.
I'm trying to count calories now, and now they're trying to give me a salary cap.
Right.
And $16 million in cash this season.
So there you go. So, Barry was the guy that's there, the GM, and he was the guy who came from baseball over to football and joined the Browns. And I
didn't know that about him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the one that started that shit. And so now the Dolphins have done it now a second time, because remember they did it for the Ryan Tannehill deal, that they paid a certain amount of money so they can get a fourth-round pick in return. Go ahead, Sean.
I just found this funny. At the end, it says the move clears millions in salary cap space for Houston to intensify its efforts to sign Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo.
Yeah, baby.
Wow,
that's crazy. I forgot about the equation of that one. Yeah, that's crazy. But to pay $16 million for a second-round pick, that's, holy crap, dude. And I by the way, I don't even know what that second-round pick ended up being. That would be the funny part, to see what that second-round pick ended up being after you paid all that money. That is insanity, overall. All right, so where are you now with the team? Because, see, I kind of laugh at times when people say, "Oh, they're playing hard for the coach," and I think it's an insult to players. I think players are professionals, and I think they know that everything that they put on tape is their resume. So if they're not trying, or they're not giving up, they're giving up or whatever, that's going to show up on tape, and wherever they go next year, they're going to bring that shit up on them. So when I see players play hard, I don't believe it's really for the coach. I really believe it's mostly for them, their incentives, their resume, their pride, all that. So where are we right now? Because it's clear that these guys are not really listening to Mike McDaniel, because the same mistakes are constantly happening. but the effort is there. So what are you expecting in a game like this one against the Bills?
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like it's always overblown as far as like if they're playing for the coach. Has the coach lost his locker room? Does he still have the player's ear? And all this thing. These are professional athletes. I think maybe more so that could be a topic in college football. Where and even with NIL nowadays, like players still have to put on good tape so that then they could go to another good spot. So I think that's still overblown there now. But yeah, in the NFL, everything that you put on tape, that is your resume. That is what's going to get you paid for next season and going forward. So you have to be playing hard. And a lot of these guys, they truly are prideful, and they truly just, like, they say it as cliche in interviews, but they really just take things one game, one day at a time. It's like, I was just texting with a friend group who, like, you know, someone was like asking me like, oh, you know, you think Tua knows that he's done in Miami, this and that? And I'm like, man, let me tell you, like, these guys, their mindset is really just, what do I have to do this week? I mean, some of those thoughts might like creep into their head, sure, of course, but they're really just focused on the here and now and what they got to do against the Buffalo Bills. So obviously major challenge ahead for the Dolphins this season in that pursuit of trying to beat a team that has beaten you 7 straight times, 14 of the last 15. But also banged up. The Bills are a little banged up, but what I said in the Sun Sentinel is I have the Bills winning 31-16. I feel like it'll still be multiple scores, but you know, maybe the Dolphins do show some fight in some cases. Obviously, a lot of familiarity. I think there are things that the Bills are vulnerable against, like going to the run game. That was something that was successful, especially early on the first time they met. I think they should be going to Ollie Gordon early, pounding the rock. Obviously, Devon Achane, you always want to get him involved in multiple ways. So I say stick to the run game, which I know is always tough to envision. Mike McDaniel does. And then if the score starts to get away even a little bit, he really goes against it. But I would say that would be a recipe for some level of success. And then I would never be fully shocked if they pull off an upset, because there's a lot of familiarity between teams. It's a division rivalry. They're at home, this and that. But ultimately, you still got to say Buffalo takes this, and I got them by multiple scores.
If the right tackle and the right guard were actually healthy,
yeah,
maybe I give you a slight chance, but not with Larry Borum and company. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not giving them any hope, unfortunately.
Then the key would be if Joey Bosa's playing too, because I know he's got a wrist injury. So, but obviously Greg Rousseau on one side, he's usually going against the right tackle. I think he does switch some, but that would be Larry Borum's matchup, and that would be very tough on him.
That would be a very big mismatch overall. Who's out for the Dolphins? Is Ollie out?
No, I mean, Ollie seems fine. He said he was fine, and even
so will this moron also keep Jaylen Wright active this week? Will he go back to like using common sense, or is he going to go with 2 backs again?
What has it been? 3 of the last 4 games where they still made him inactive? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be betting one way or the other because I have no idea what they're going to do. I think it would make sense to have 3 running backs active, especially after you just had that scare. Well, I mean, actually more than a scare. Like, Ollie Gordon didn't go back in the game.
I know.
Mike McDaniel said he could have, but you know, they chose not to, obviously, because he did tweak that ankle. But Ollie himself also says he's fine. He's been limited but still practicing. So, there might be limitations as far as how much they use him because of it. But, yeah, they'll use him, and I think they better keep Jaylen Wright active, especially when you have one of your running backs banged up.
So Tanner Connor, I guess we can say that he got kicked out his senior year in college, and the frat boy is gone because, man, 3.5 years they spent resources and time and money for absolutely nothing. And, I look at it this way. Mike McDaniel knows that he has to finish the season strong as a coach just to show his competence around the league for, so he can have a future in this league, after he gets fired. and he needs every resource possible. Tanner Connor is not helping you anymore. He hasn't, after all this time, he has not helped you. Plus, you're getting Julian Hill back, I believe, this week. So if you get Julian Hill back, you don't need Tanner Connor. And let me go use somebody that will help me look a lot better. So let's move on from Tanner Connor. But, man, it took this long to figure out that he wasn't good enough. That's what's wrong with this organization.
Yeah, and just didn't quite develop him how they felt he had a trajectory going forward when they kept him as an undrafted rookie, a converted wide receiver out of Idaho State. That then they were trying to build him up as far as gaining muscle mass to really turn his body into that of a tight end. I would see him one season to the next, coming back OTAs from off-season workouts, and okay, yeah, he does look stronger, this and that, but yeah, he was finally. He had 9 of his 12 career catches this year. He didn't have his first one until last year, his third season in the NFL, mostly on the practice squad. That 2023 year, his second season. But you have Julian Hill coming back. Plus, Greg Dulcich had a really strong game this last time out against the Ravens on Thursday night. So I think when you see that and you say, okay, we just brought Dulcich in, who was a former draft pick, and maybe it didn't work out for him in Denver and what have you. You bring him in, you have him on the practice squad. First time he comes up and really plays some meaningful snaps, hey, he's putting together a decent game. We got something here, and that's all it took to then say, all right, this is already a better option than Tanner Connor. So then we see the move, and I wonder if also Hayden Rucci was maybe passing him up as well. As someone who's on the practice squad, similarly undrafted the year before, just last year, and now maybe he's seen as a better option as that next tight end, while even Darren Waller is still out right now, and you're looking at a Dulcich, Julian Hill, and probably Rucci gets brought up.
Okay, all right, and we'll wrap it up with this. So you agree with me that there'll be complete changes, general manager, head coach, and even quarterback this offseason? Because I mean, listen, anything is possible. Stephen Ross does a lot of stuff that makes no sense, and keeping Champ would be something that makes no sense. Keeping Mike McDaniel around would make no sense, and even keeping Tua around. I think you need to have a fresh start, even at quarterback, because it's just you're going to go into a whole rebuild, and that's not who you want for a whole rebuild at this point in time. So I believe they're going to completely turn the page. Do you believe that?
That is what I believe. I've always said that if and when the time comes, it should be both that go down, Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier. I found it odd that it was Grier at the midseason point. Maybe trade deadline had something to do with it, so they could potentially open things up more. At the end, we only just saw the one trade, but
like I told you, it had to do more with love. He really loves Chris Grier, and he did him a solid. Okay, but go ahead.
Hey, Ross operates with a lot of. I think he's got a lot of love from Mike McDaniel in keeping him longer than a lot of people.
Not as much as Chris Grier. He left him out here. He left him to drive the Titanic right into the iceberg, baby. So yeah, he let Chris Grier go off into the sunset and not have to answer a question or anything else again, dude. Scot-free. It's beautiful. That's why there was a parting of ways.
Right. No, but I think that's how Mike would prefer to still be coaching, and so I think both of them. Yeah, maybe he did both of them a solid. I think Mike is okay dealing with how difficult it is week to week. He says the same thing that however long he remains coach, he's going to give it everything he's got. That's him. So I would imagine he prefers to keep this job and as long as possible and coach the team through the end. I agree with you. That would be what makes most sense, is that to have a clean sweep, do it all over, start it from the top. So it felt a little backward based on the timing, but yeah, you're bringing some clarity into some of it there. But I feel like normally, yeah, you would see the coach go mid-season when the results aren't there, and then the GM is maybe like toward the end or once the start of the offseason. But that's just how it's playing out here. And
The worst part about
David,
the worst part about this is, and why I don't give this a lot of hope, who's in Steve Ross's ear? Who's giving him advice? And that's the bad part, because clearly he doesn't have good people giving him advice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Tom Garfinkel on the business side, but still, he's there, present. When football things are happening, has his ear to it. His son-in-laws. I'm Brandon Shore has a big say. I think Brandon Shore has a big say in a lot of what goes on football-wise, along with, it was Greer before and now Champ Kelly in the interim. So
all we have to do is look at the results. Clearly, he has the wrong people in his ear. And that's, Tom Garfinkel, there's no doubt he's a massive monster when it comes to the business side, because what they've done with that property is gold. But when it comes to football, he has nobody of quality in his ear, because look at all the decisions. Constantly, they're bad ones. So,
Yeah.
Sucks.
Very successful run in terms of everything else with the ownership, building value to the team, the stadium, everything around it with F1 Miami, establishing that down here, and the tennis, the concerts, and having college football at Hard Rock Stadium, all of that. But yes, it's the primary product that has everything else surrounding it. The Miami Dolphins football team, and no playoff wins since the ownership began. That is the big thing you're looking at.
It's like Mario Cristobal. He can recruit. He can, he's a great custodian of a program. He got them to spend and build up the program like they need and everything, but he fails in one area, and that's game day. And it's just like Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross does everything great except manage the Dolphins. The Dolphins he cannot manage. Now, his business empire, oh my God. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous what he's done.
That's the thing. That's what as owner, that's what he's there. He has the money. He knows how to manage money. So he's not supposed to himself be the football guru. It is, like you said, the people in his ear giving him the advice and with them on just every decision that surrounds the football operation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devin Jordan's throwing the Brandon Shore thing out there. That's my point. Brandon Shore or Tom Garfinkel or whatever son-in-law or whatever or whoever in that building is in his ear, he's got all the wrong people in his ear, because his organization is a joke and he's a joke. And that's the bottom line. And they all are miserable failures when it comes to football. But it is what it is. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Have a fantastic weekend, sir. We will talk on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
You got it. There you go. David Furones, baby. Welton Rayom, proud sponsors of our program. We love Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They know how to get it done. Give them a ring, 954-966-4646. The consultation is completely free. So if you're dealing with bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, again, consultations free. These guys are like the best in the business. We saw it when they took on Progressive for us. Lots of our listeners, by the way, have also reached out to Welton Rayom all throughout Florida. So if you live on the West Coast, East Coast, Central Florida, give them a ring, 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. See, is the glare not too bad? All right, let me see. I might be able to get away with it for a little bit. All right.
Those Cleveland Brown picks?
Yes.
With their pick, they took Austin Corbett, a lineman, With the Texans pick, they took Nick Chubb.
Oh, not a bad pick.
Not a bad pick, but the Austin Corbett pick, he played
pick.
14 snaps and was traded.
Yeah, terrible pick. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the Chubb pick's pretty good. He's a good running back. Good running back. They milked that one at least. Let's see. What do we have here on the chat board? Ocala Joe smashing it. Ray Grullon hoping that Obi-Wan can help. Dolphin Dave says bad teams can turn it around 1 year. Yeah, it's been done. I agree with Big O. Not always. Right. Go Dolphins. Yeah. All right. Well, you keep waiting for that 1 year turnaround. I'm not expecting these clowns to do that. Nyborg says Greer's relaxing back at that island resort where Ross found the whale logo. Exactly. Big O said Mike McDaniel is getting fired by week 10 happening and just might keep him. At this point, we're talking about Stephen Ross. He fired the GM before the coach. Only this moron would do something that's stupid. By the way, please smash the like button. So, he's dumb enough that he would keep Mike McDaniel around for the rest of the year. A guy that doesn't know how to coach a disciplined team. It's a shame, man. He's just a really bad owner. Sad. Let's see. Where am I going to be in Madrid? I'm close to the that main area. What's that called? Jesus. I'm forgetting. But anyway, I forgot the name of the place. But it doesn't matter. But it's just the main area of the Mercado and like a lot of restaurants and all that kind of, huh? Not Centro. Yeah, it's not Centro. It's called. Yeah, it's right by there. I'm like my Airbnb is like literally a couple hundred yards from it. So like we're like really centralized. Like I forgot the name of that area, but it's like a Palacio. That's it. The Palacio. Yes, yes. It's all close by. So yeah, that's where I'll be, and then I'll go to the Dolphin bars, and I'm trying to see if I can. I'm going to call a lady today. It's been a mess because they've led me from one person to another, and it's just you're reaching out to people on WhatsApp, and it's just like kind of a craziness. And I'm trying to, I almost feel like I'm going to end up doing the damn show in my Airbnb. And by the way, we got to talk about the times that I do it because you're like 6 hours behind me. Like I can't do it at 10 a.m. over there. It'd be 4 a.m. There will be no show probably on Wednesday. Maybe Tuesday I'll do something in the morning before I leave. But on Wednesday, it's a whole travel day. I get there early Wednesday. I leave Tuesday, get there Wednesday. And no, I'm not going to do anything on Wednesday. I'm going to recover on Wednesday, and I'm just going to walk around and eat with the wife. The good thing is I'm no longer looking like I had freckles. I mean, what's it called? Chicken pox. Because I went to the dermatologist last week, and they burnt out all those little things like, that they end up growing on your ass, So you got, and it was like 15 of them, dude. So I had all these little red spots all over the place. And if I walked in somewhere without a hat, people looked at me a little weird. And I'm like, no, dude, I don't have chicken pox. Relax. It's dermatologist. Okay. So I'm glad that that is gone and gone for the trip. What else do we have here going on the chat board? What else do we have? Steven Loss bleeds Jets. Stop placating Greer. I don't know. What am I placating him? I'm just saying he got away scot-free. It's the truth. He's loving life, dude. They parted ways mutually, and he doesn't have to answer questions anymore. You know, it's just it's the opposite. Stephen Ross set Mike D up for misery for the rest of the year. Mike D needs the job so he can prove that he's competent, because if he would have gotten fired right at that point, you know, he's got no more chances to try to redeem himself. And that's what he's going to try to do for the next couple of weeks. Not that it'll happen, but he'll try. By the way, we are here at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard. You can come see my man right here, Larry Schlossberg. Oh, he knows how to get it done. Happy new model year. 4.9% financing right now for 60 months on the ADX. The Integra 2025 model, $269 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, my wife drives it every day, $389 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. And the TLX, $389 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. Tell them that I sent you, and trust me, they will take care of you here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Let's see, Edward Thurston. How Ross is easy to figure out. What college does he donate to? Michigan. Reason we drafted Grant. Plus, he listens to the Johnson's Brothers Jets organization. Well, he should be listening to the Brothers Johnson instead. Because maybe then, you know, the Dolphins one day, they're going to take it to the top and they're going to stomp all night. So they should should be listening to the Brothers Johnson, not the Johnson Brothers. Strawberry letter 23. My wife wins. She's on a field trip, and she's with the kids. They're at what is it? Snotsberry. I know it's not Snots, but it's Knott'sberry, right? So she's there at Snotsberry Farms, sending me pictures. I'm pissed. You ever had the strawberry shakes there? Or you just go for the buns? Oh, the strawberry shake. You get to go pick the strawberries, and then they make the shake for you. Oh, listen, that is the shizzle.
Not working for my shake, all right.
Oh, but it's so cool. You pick the strawberries, you take it to them, and they make you a delicious strawberry shake, dude. Slightly better than the one I used to have as a kid from Quick. Well, what are you laughing, bro? Don't laugh at my Quick. Although for chocolate, I was more of an Ovaltine guy. I got to say, I enjoyed Ovaltine's chocolate.
You're in the secret decoder ring
over
other
Quick.
Things they did.
Quick, I like their strawberry.
Quick chocolate.
But Ovaltine, I like their chocolate.
That's only you wanted the decoder rings. They did all the other stuff to get you in with Ovaltine.
Oh, it was good.
No.
Oh, the chocolate was good. Definitely.
No.
Loved it. And then you cheated a little bit. You grabbed that Hershey syrup and poured in a little bit more.
That just tells you how
add it.
You had to add stuff to it.
I'm just saying you just did that just for the hell of it sometimes. Just to be a kid. You got to do that. You know, a little dab will do you. So yeah. I don't know. Do they still? They don't even sell Ovaltine anymore, do they? Huh?
I don't know.
I've seen Quick. Okay, I still have seen Quick, but I don't think I've ever seen Ovaltine again. Like Tang is still around. I don't know why, because why would young people know anything about Tang? They have Ovaltine in Walmart? There you go. All right. I like it. In fact, I'm going, when I leave here, I'm going to go get me some Ovaltine. What the hell? What the hey? What the ho? Karun says, hope the Finns aren't so bad in Spain. The fans can throw red cards towards the team. You know what? I think most of us that are going to go, we're just going to be in the stands, and we're going to be watching. And if they play well, fine. It'll be great. If they don't, it'll still be great because we're in Madrid having some fun, enjoying some great food, walking around. So, I already got a spot to go rent a scooter. I'm set to go. I got my plans. Although I'm deciding between Segovia, Toledo, or what was the other? It's another town that I'm thinking of visiting outside of Madrid. What was the other one that I was looking at also? But Toledo is very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Segovia is also very beautiful. So definitely going to visit, a town or two outside of Madrid. Take one of those fast trains. Let's see. Ray says, howdy, at least you will have authentic paella. Should be delicious. Yep, definitely take the wife to go have a little. She loves paella. She is huge on paella. So definitely going to take her to have a little paella. Devin says, I'm worried about this government shutdown. If they don't reopen, then my flight might get canceled. Yeah. I mean, we're all worried about that, man. What are you going to do? These are really stupid people that we have running the government. What are you going to do? Two parties that it's just all a bunch of pissing contests. So flight's about to get. Let me get into a little crypto segment since you brought it up. R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. We love, of course, our friends at R&M, Ray and Mike. By the way, you can see them on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island for complete remodels, kitchen upgrades, waterproofing your terrace, balcony, flood test report, bathroom upgrades, floor restorations. They do it all, man. Ray and Mike are absolute monsters. 305-345-3649. So on the crypto front, first of all, of course, we got the government shutdown. That is hurting us. Bitcoin did fall under 99. I think it's just above 100 right now. It's kind of hanging in there. Let me make sure where we're at here. I think we're just above 100,600. So, but did fall under 100 again. Got a couple things going on. Kazakhstan is going to create a $1 billion Bitcoin and crypto reserve. U.S. spot ETFs, after 6 days of outflows of $1.4 billion yesterday, they had inflows of 239.9 million. So that maybe now we hit the bottom and now it's starting. And remember what I've told you about ETF holders. ETF holders aren't real Bitcoin holders. They're kind of wannabes. They don't really have the cojones to go all out and learn about Bitcoin and get a cold storage wallet and all those kind of things. So these are people that are going to get flustered easy. So when things like, government shutdown and things go on, they will panic sell like a lot of people have, that they panic sold, which don't know why you did, but whatever. It opened up the door for a lot of us to buy cheaper, and thank you. We appreciate that. So you got a lot of ETF holders that were dumping in the last couple of days. And like I told you, 1.4 billion in the last 6 days. So now all of a sudden, $250 million has come in yesterday, 239.9, almost there. So now we'll see what happens today moving forward, and we'll see if the turn happens. I would not be surprised that in another week, after next week, we start, on the back end of November, we start climbing. Also, by the way, Tether, which is the number one stable coin in the world, just bought 960 Bitcoin for $98 million. They now hold 87,475 Bitcoin worth $8.8 billion. So they're buying when it's down. Okay. Strategy, Michael Saylor, his company now will raise $710 million more to buy more Bitcoin. All right. So that is your crypto segment. Do not get flustered. This is not financial advice, but right now what you're seeing is an absolute gift. Just a gift. I'm telling you. Take advantage, man. Absolute gift right now for you guys. All right. To each his own. Let's see. Big O, what's your honest opinion on the job that Chris Greer did as our GM? Failed, dude. Failed. Unfortunately. There was a lot of talent a couple years ago, one of your best rosters you've had in, 20 years. But you got the wrong coaches. You failed. No other way to slice it. You know what I mean? And if I need to tell you this, you guys are, I don't know, failed. Everything has failed here. Everything always fails here. It's just kind of the way it goes. So no, there's no difference. And unfortunately, I'm sure everybody wants to succeed, but he failed. Tannenbaum failed. Mueller failed. Every GM has failed. Every coach has failed here. And when you hire the wrong coaches and when you cater to your coach, and like he did, it was a huge mistake. So it is what it is. What else? Used to drink Ovaltine and mixed it with coffee. Wow, that's never heard of that. Interesting. After being a Dolphins fan for 47 years, it's seriously nauseating at this point. We have a clown for an owner who can't get out of his own damn way. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, really, we're hoping for dumb luck because Stephen Ross is dumb. He does stupid things. He's a terrible owner. Absolutely horrible owner. I don't care that he can spend. He doesn't know how to spend. So if you don't know how to spend, who gives a shit that you spend? Plaza Mayor. That's it. That's it. The Plaza Mayor. That I'm like a couple hundred yards from that. So I am right dead center in the middle of the action. No, we got a great Airbnb, got a great price on it. It had to be manageable because this is an expensive trip. So, but we got everything pretty manageable, man. It was good because we got it early. We were able to get it early. So it's good. Let's see. Have I looked up great spots to eat in Spain? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I have got a bunch of spots written. I've got a place to go rent a scooter, which is like a 2-minute walk from where I'm at. All kinds of stuff. I'm ready to go, man. I am ready to go. Cannot wait. What else do we have? Yeah, Tack. Yeah, it is kind of hopeless. Joe Banner was a executive in the NFL for a long time. And he was on, I believe it was Rich Eisen. And they asked him about the Miami Dolphins. He was a president of the Eagles. He was former chief executive officer of the Cleveland Browns, former consultant also for the Atlanta Falcons. And so he had a lot of success also with the Eagles as a GM. And here's his take on the Miami Dolphins.
I'm concerned if somebody's rooting for them. Listen, the owner really has one job. They can do more. They can be helpful in many areas, but they really have one job. They have to succeed from a fan perspective because all the fan really cares about is how many games you're going to win. And that is he has to get 2 to 3 hires right. Now, depending upon your structure, you have to have a general manager, head coach, and I think ideally a team president, all of whom are really good at their job, and then you will be able to compete with the best teams in the league. It's interesting to me because Steve Ross, I know reasonably well. He's a nice guy. He's a very smart guy. He's been very successful. but he has not mastered the ability to hire well at the top of his organization now, going back from the time that he became the owner of the team. And that's the reason they haven't done better. And, you know, I know Greer, he's a good guy, he's a hard worker, but he got 9 years. We talk about some situations with people too impatient. I don't know how you justified all 9 years of that. There were a lot of mistakes made during that time, including hiring of coaches. I think I was with Mike briefly. We overlapped in Cleveland. The reputation he has as being an offensive mind is well-deserved. I mean, I've been with Andy Reid. I've been with John Gruden. I've been with, names that are probably less relevant today, Sean Payton, a lot of the coaches that are top offensive minds now. He's as good as any of them. So I put him in the upper echelon of offensive minds. But the job description for a coordinator and a head coach is just totally different. And if you hire a coordinator that doesn't have the abilities that differentiate the good head coaches from the good coordinators, then you're going to be disappointed. So Mike has done I'd say a solid job, but not what you'd be hoping for the day you hired him. And I think it's because some of the qualities he has as head coach, or you need as head coach, aren't the same strengths as he demonstrates when he develops his offense. Part of that should have been working with Chris and having a team building philosophy. From our conversations, to me, you got to dominate the lines of scrimmage. You got to have a good quarterback. Some teams build their team. We got to have good corners and we got to have good wide receivers. That's what the Dolphins have been doing. To me, it's not like you can't succeed that way, but the odds of succeeding under that scenario are just not as high. I mean, we used to estimate that the teams were consistently making the top 8 in the NFL. 75% of them believed in this philosophy where you must dominate the line of scrimmage. And about a quarter of them were building their team around things like weapons and secondary play. So to me, there is no real legitimate argument about what the right team building philosophy for. The Dolphins have not had that ever, as far as I'm concerned. They dabbled in it a little bit here and there, but they never made it like, we're not going to win big until we fix this problem. So I'm worried. It sounds like there's a real chance they keep Mike. I don't really want to take a shot at him because there are elements, what he does. He's in the top group in the league. But as a head coach, he hasn't proven to me he can do all of that. And, they're going to have to find a general manager, in my opinion. If they keep the head coach, it's going to be much harder to find the people there. And, listen, it's not a good roster.
Well, I mean,
so
the Tua contract rests on top of all this. I mean, I understand about the command and control structure, and obviously that's crucial. I would never push back against you, but, you got to get the quarterback right. And what that contract is what, in your estimation? You want to finish that sentence?
I mean, it takes a massively bigger cap hit over 2 years than we've ever seen, even more than what Denver did a couple of years ago. And it leaves you with no quarterback. So where is that? You have no quarterback. You have a head coach I don't think is quite good enough to get you where you're trying to go, and you don't have a general manager. Ideally, you'd have somebody who felt like, I don't think Tua is hopeless. Let's give it a year. We're probably in the early phase of, doing what we did to the Eagles, what the Jets just did. We're probably going to move. By the way, the Jets would have been doing the right thing if they had moved older players that had some value, maybe not as high. So I think they're thinking, again, the right way. But young players that can be a big part of a team in 2 years, 3 years, I would not move. The Dolphins don't even have any of those people to talk about moving. They have some people that maybe get something in the middle. I mean, I saw people talking about people they could get third-round picks for that they'd be lucky if they got a 5th or 6th-round pick for. I mean, Waddle, in my mind, is the only person they could have traded. And even there, the numbers are grossly exaggerated. But he would have real value in the trade market. They decided not to do that. So I don't know what they're doing. They're not acknowledging we're in a really bad place. We got to kind of tear down the house and rebuild it. And they're not doing anything proactive that makes you think in any short period of time they can get to be really competitive, especially now that it looks like the Patriots are going to be good again for a long time. I think Buffalo's going to be good for a long time. Maybe the Jets can get there, and then you got Miami. They've got a long way to go to even have a chance to compete to win their division.
So there you go. And that's why I'm where I'm at right now with this team. I am so disappointed with this team, and it's hard for me to imagine any kind of positive thing happening because I see it exactly like Joe Banner sees it. It's just a stupid team that just led by an owner that just doesn't get it and doesn't do anything the right way. Even right now, you should have fired McDaniel weeks ago. That's what you were supposed to do. not the other way around, but again, because of his love for Chris Greer, he felt that, Greer was taking a lot of the heat. He didn't care about McDaniel taking the heat as much as you may think. And so he's thinking more about that instead of doing it the other way where you're supposed to fire the head coach, let the general manager put Weaver, whatever, in charge, and then see, after that third week, see what happens, see if there's a change. Now there will be no change because the same dysfunctional person that is leading your team is still there. And so nothing's going to change. I mean, the man just figured out that Tanner Conner can't play. So, he's got a couple of games left in his career as a Dolphins coach. Well, you know what? What am I going to keep Tanner Conner around for anymore? I'm not going to be here next year. Well, so let me find somebody that'll help me win so I can look more, respectable. That's why this is a disturbing situation with the Miami Dolphins. And this owner, again, has no one worth a damn in his ear. No one. The people you see in the box now, none of them are helping out. None of them. Not Garfinkel, not Marino, not any of them that are there in that box. And if any of them are giving opinions, obviously they're bad ones because he's doing whatever they're saying, basically. Whatever Garfinkel or anybody else is, he's doing it. So he has terrible people around him advising him. There's no doubt about that. And so it's hard to really imagine, how's he going to fix this? He can't even start to correct it the right way. He fires the general manager before the head coach. Nobody does that. No one does that. Only Stephen Ross does stupid things like that. Why? Because his friendship to Chris Greer was more important than, it's like that logo. The dead whale is more important to him and his organization, his way of thinking, than it is our original logo. The one we all really love and want. Same way. What else do we have? Tanner Conner is the only player they've cut all year. I know. Take the fast train to Valencia. All right. I will check out Valencia today. I haven't decided yet on all the on which small town I'll go to, but there's a couple. And the good thing is they have those speed trains that you can be anywhere within an hour or two in a lot of places, which is actually very nice. I am wondering on the way back. Because I'm thinking I might get away with it that way. It's on the way back. I'm wondering, wow, what a mess to come back to. Man, it is terrible. Stupid shutdown. Anyway, what are you going to do, right? By the way, Bitcoin's over 101 right now. So it's actually pumping right now. The Dow is... Let me see if it refreshes here a second, because sometimes I pull up the app and then I say the number and then it changes a couple seconds later because it says right now it's down 244 points. Nope, now it's down 307, see? So the Dow is down 307 points, the S&P is down 70, and the NASDAQ is up half a point. That's what's going on in the market. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The Panthers, they defeat the Kings last night 5-2. They improved to 7-6-1 on the season. Brad Marchand with 2 goals. Lundell, Reinhardt, and Bennett also with goals. Bob had 24 saves. Tomorrow, they will visit San Jose. 10 o'clock is the face-off. Tonight, 8 o'clock, the Hornets are visiting the Heat. No Bam, out with the big left toe. Heat are still favored by 5. The over and under is 242. Miami is minus 190 on the money line. The Hornets are plus 160. Inter Miami will host Nashville for Game 3 of the playoffs there in the first round. The series is tied at 1 game apiece. No aggregate goal, no nothing. He who wins advances. He who loses is out. And Inter Miami better not lose. They're minus 200 on the money line. Nashville plus 425 on the money line. Saturday at 3:30, the Cuse is visiting the U, and the U is favored by 28.5 points. The over and under is 46.5. The Cuse is plus 1,400 on the money line. The Canes are minus 10,000 on the money line. No, I don't think they're losing, but wow. Yeah. No Mark Fletcher, no O.J. Federic, and no C.J. Daniels. Saturday at 7 o'clock, your Fort Lauderdale United, they visit the Carolina Ascent. And last night in football, the Broncos, they beat the Raiders 10-7 in a riveting game. They improved to 8-2. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. If you need custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. All right. Let's see. Miles Deep says, Miami fan, Miami sports been hurting. I've been working more and no need or watch. Hope all is well. It's all good. Although, hey, the Panthers are still good. So if you're all South Florida miles deep, at least the Panthers haven't failed us. And let me tell you something. The Panthers being 7-6-1 is pretty good with all the injuries and everything that's gone on. Okay. And plus, they're the champs, double champs. Everybody is giving them their best chance, their best shot, that is. Sean Stanley, sir. The Panthers won last night. Give them what we love to do, a victory cigar. Like it. You know, besides the victory cigar, we also got to decide MVPs. You do. And we do that by looking at the Moody Dental MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? There's only one MVP for your family's dental care.
Moody Dental. Get your smile back at Moody Dental. Visit them on Instagram at moody.dental.
Here's our Moody Dental MVP of the night.
Listen, last year in the trading deadline, they traded for Seth Jones and they traded for Brad Marchand. And Brad Marchand is that guy that you love to hate, right? And now we love to love him here, and because he came in and just was an absolute beast, contributing, scoring, assisting, being a leader. Everything that you would want, you got from Brad Marchand last year. And this year, you end up suffering the Barkov injury, which now puts Barkov out for the season. And if he's back, it'll be for the playoffs, and we're all hoping. Plus Kachuk, who has actually been dealing with injuries the last couple of years, and he was injured last year in the playoff and the cup run, but tough son of a bitch stayed in it. And to his credit, man, he helped out a lot. Well, this season you start off without your two superstars, and you've had some other injuries. Other guys have to step up in a big-time way. Brad Marchand last night against the Kings, 2 goals last night. And we're talking about a guy that in the middle of the season went to go cover for his best friend who unfortunately lost his daughter to cancer. Brad Marchand is the ultimate player, friend, pillar of stability, star, just an anchor in every way possible, on the ice, in the locker room, in life. You saw it in the post celebrations of the Stanley Cup. You can tell that there were true friendships going on with him and the players, and that's why he ended up signing a long-term contract. And this year, they needed him in a big-time way, and he has played 13 games. He has scored 9 goals. He has 6 assists. That's ridiculous. Okay? Absolutely. And at the age that he's at, to still be playing at this elite level, my God, he is everything that you want in an MVP. We could talk about a lot of guys on this team right now. Brad Marchand is an absolute MVP. Last night he had 2 goals, and he has been an MVP all season long for everyone in the world involved. His teammates and his friends. And you can't say much more than that, dude. And if you want to go to Moody Dental and your family, you can't get a better performance. It's kind of like a Brad Marchand performance from the Moody family, because it's a father and 2 sons running both offices in Dade and Broward County. Dade, 305-821-0231. State-of-the-art equipment, 954-692-6825. Get your smile back. Follow them on Instagram, moodius.dental. Whatever you need, folks. Invisaligns, dental implants, preventive care, cosmetic surgery. Even if you play hockey and you get some toofuses knocked out, you can go to Moody's Dental, baby. So a guy like Brad Marchand needs some work on the chiclets. You can go to Moody's Dental. You need some work on the chiclets. Go to Moody's Dental. And Brad Marchand is our Moody's Dental MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by Moody Dental.
From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams. To schedule an appointment in Dade, call 305-821-0231. In Broward, 954-692-6825. Follow them on Instagram at moodyass.dental, providing MVP smiles every day of the year.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Hey, let me do a little music here. By the way, Journey is going to have their farewell tour. And, I was going back and forth with my man Chris on Twitter yesterday. And, I want to just say something, because he said something that a lot of people say. And I would tell you, you're wrong. And you're right. And he said, Journey without Steve Perry's not Journey. You're right. It's not. But if you never saw Journey and you love Journey's music, there is only one band in the history of music so far that I know that replaced their singer with somebody that is as close as you can possibly be. Look, there are other bands that have had replacement singers. Genesis went from Peter Gabriel to Phil Collins, and they had more success. And AC/DC went from Bon Scott to Anderson, right? I think Brian Anderson, and they had more success. And Iron Maiden went from Paul Di'Anno to Bruce Dickinson, and had more success. It happens. Survivor, I forgot the 2 guys' names, but they actually had, and he sounded just as close too, and they had just as much success or more success with their second singer in Survivor. But and by the way, actually, you know what? Now I got to correct myself. Survivor is number 1. Because they actually had legitimate hits with their follow-up singer that sounded pretty much like the first one. Because a lot of people, when you listen to Survivor's music, you don't know that there's 2 different singers in those hits, actually. So I'm going to give Survivor 1, but Journey is number 2. Okay? I had Journey number 1 in this conversation. I corrected myself mid-sentence. It's amazing. Anyway, but I got to give props to when it's due, and the Survivor one is actually due. But if you love Journey, when you leave a Journey concert with Arnel Pineda being the lead singer, you will love the concert. It will sound pretty close to you can possibly sound as Steve Perry. And at the end of the concert, you're going to say to yourself, Neil Schon is the guy you can't replace. which it's actually true, because they found the guy that sounds pretty much close, almost exactly to Steve Perry. If you didn't know it was Steve Perry on stage and they blindfolded you, you would think it was Steve Perry, because I've done it to people where I've played Arnel Pineda and I've said, hey, check it out, man. Oh, yeah, I love Steve Perry. Nope, that's Arnel. And they've been fooled. So what I would tell you about it, if you have a chance to see this Journey, this is their farewell tour and all that kind of stuff, I would tell you go. Okay, I know it's not Steve Perry, but Arnel does an awesome job, and the band sounds excellent, and Neil Sean shreds for 2 hours, and they keep the music of Journey alive. Steve Perry doesn't want to be a rock star anymore. Doesn't want to tour. So you're never going to see him again. I saw him a few times. So I was fortunate. I saw the Steve Perry Journey several times, and I've seen this iteration of Journey. And I will tell you this, it is well worth the ticket. So if you love the music of Journey, do not cheat yourself out of it just because Steve Perry's not there. Arnel Pineda does an excellent job. All right? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's go with musicians celebrating birthdays today on November 7th, because I know you guys are wondering who's celebrating birthdays today, right? Who in rock and roll or in pop or in rap or in disco, bluegrass, whatever, celebrating birthdays. Let's go. Let's find out. Tini Timpa, born Patrick Chukwameka Agawu. I'm sure I completely butchered his name, but written in the stars, a million miles away, a message to the man. You know that one? That's Tini Tempa. 1988. Let's see, what else do we have? Robert Finnick, longest touring musician with 9 Inch Nails from 94 to 2000. Official member of Guns N' Roses from 97 to 2008, born in 71. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays. David Guetta, French DJ and producer. Produces the Black Eyed Peas, by the way. Born in 67 for David. Let's see who else. Sebastian Marino, lead guitarist for Anvil and Overkill, passed away in 2023 at the age of 57. Rest in peace. Tommy Thayer with Kiss, born in 1960. Jelly Bean, Mr. Jelly Bean Benitez, the first DJ with hits. Not named Disco Duck, by the way. But before the other DJs started doing hits, Jelly Bean Benitez was the guy that was doing it with Sidewalk Talk and Mexican radio and all that. No, not Mexican. What is it? Mexican Sidewalk Talk and what was the other one? God. Anyway, let me see. Did it say it here? Jelly Bean Benitez. No. Oh, well. Anyway. What else? Celebrating birthdays today. Joni Mitchell, Canadian-American singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist. Roberta Anderson. Joni Mitchell, born in 43. That is musicians. Now let's go with famous people born on November 7th. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they are no longer with us. Explorer Captain James Cook, born in 1728. Evangelist Billy Graham, born in 1918. Musician Joan Sutherland, born in 1926. Let's see. Actor Christopher Knight, born in 57. He is 68 today. Actor Jeremy London, born in 72. He's 53. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers?
Yes, sir, we do. Jacob Novak turns 43. Joey Ryan is 46. King Kong Bundy was born in this date in 1955. Muhammad Hassan turns 44, and AEW announcer Tony Schiavone is 68. They all celebrated birthday with my dad on November 7th, 2025.
Nice. Nice. Let's see what happened on Stonely Stanley's birthday in music history. Let's find out. In 63, the Beatles went to Ireland to make their only appearance ever in that country, playing 2 shows at the Adelphi Cinema in Dublin. In 73, Bob Dylan recorded Forever Young and On a Night Like This. In 75, Elton John started a 3-week run at #1 on the U.S. album charts with Rock of the Westies, the singer's 10th studio album and 7th U.S. #1. In 79, she did a great job here. The Rose, a film starring Bette Midler as rock singer who hits the big time, opened in theaters. The film is based on the life of Janis Joplin, but filmmakers couldn't secure the rights to use her image or story. Midler received an Oscar nomination for Best Actress for the role. Meanwhile, the film's theme song, The Rose, written by Amanda McBroom, would go on to become one of Midler's biggest songs and earned her a Grammy Award for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. If you've never seen Bette Midler in The Rose, you should watch it. She did a great job. And you kind of know it's Janis Joplin, even though. In 81, Hall & Oates started a 2-week run at the U.S. singles charts at #1 with Private Eyes, the duo's 3rd U.S. #1 and number 32 in the UK. In 89, Queen Latifah released her debut studio album, All Hail the Queen, and it features Ladies First. Great song. In 95 on this date, Coolio released his 2nd studio album, Gangsta's Paradise, and it featured the title track Too Hot, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see what else happened today. In 2011, Azalea Banks released her debut studio album, Broke with Expensive Tastes, and it features Young Rapunzel, Heavy Metal and Reflective, Chase Time, and Ice Princess. In 2016, Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart star in the first episode of Martha and Snoop's Potluck Dinner Party, where they make fried chicken with Wiz Khalifa. In 2021, Missy Elliott gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She shouts out, "My female MCs in hip-hop, including her forebearers, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, MC Light, Moni Love, Shay Rock, Angie Stone, Roxanne Shante, and Yo-Yo." Birthdays. Let me see if somebody wasn't on the other list. Let's see. Steve DiGiorgio of Megadeth is 58. And that is, and Lord is 29. Lord was not on the list. That's weird. She's pretty big. She's pretty big, man. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. Let's see. Very true. I've seen Journey several times with Arnel Pineda, and he is great. It's worth it, man. Don't cheat yourself. If you've never saw Journey and you think, oh, it's not Steve Perry and this and that, no, go. I'm not a music expert. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not an expert in anything. I don't know anything. But all I know is I really enjoyed it several times, just like Ray Grullon. Edward Thurston Howe. Yes, Brian Johnson Anderson. You know what I was talking about, bro. They love correcting you. Let's see. Arnel Pineda has some pipes, man. That dude is quite close to Steve Perry. Dude can sing, his ass off. Yes, exactly. I agree. The Arnel story is great. Trying to get myself to believe the Dolphins are actually the Eagles. It's not working, though. Yeah. The Dolphins aren't the Eagles. You know who's also learning that the Dolphins aren't the Eagles? Jaylen Phillips. Jaylen Phillips is enjoying his first week as an Eagle. And he was approached by the meteors there in Philadelphia, dressed in his green garb. And he was asked about his experience here with the Eagles. Let's hear what Jaylen Phillips had to say.
I know that you said you were so excited to be here, and it's only been a short amount of time, but how have you been getting acclimated in the very short time that you've been here so far?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was excited day one. I mean, talk to me now. Like, this is literally the greatest thing that's happened to me in my whole life, probably. But it's just awesome. I mean, the guys are awesome. Everybody's been super welcoming. I love the environment here. I love the vibe here. The city of Philly's, giving me a very warm welcome. I got about 20 times the amount of Instagram likes that I ever got on the post before from the Philly fans, so shout out to y'all. But yeah, it's been great so far. Getting out there practicing. I love the weather here. I love the locker room. Everything's awesome.
What makes it the greatest?
When you leave a shit organization and you go to a real one, you find out what it's like. Thanks to Stephen Ross. Players that come here, they find out what a shit organization is. Forget about the amenities, dude. Players want to win. The Canes won all the titles without any amenities. Without any. They can't even get to the ACC championship game with every amenity in the book. The Kansas City Chiefs were voted the worst in amenities last year. The Dolphins were voted the best. Again, Stephen Ross doesn't know how to put the equation together to equal a championship club. So Stephen Ross is. What are you going to do? And so now he's finding out what it's like to be with a real organization. By the way, apparently the fan base is even stronger than ours. They love his Instagram 20 times more. And that's because, well, they're having success. We have none. And, we all blame all the players. And no, we got to blame the guy at the top because he's the one that creates the environment where all the players will fail. Let me tell you something. I am now privately rooting for the Eagles this year. I am. Seriously. I hope Jaylen Phillips wins the Super Bowl. Just because he's a good kid. He might be in a little trouble right now. But I'm pulling for him. He's in trouble, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, he's in trouble. Oh, he's in trouble. He said that was the greatest thing that happened to him. He got married and he's having a kid. He's got to watch out with that. He's supposed to say it's the third best thing that's happened to him. No, third. You can't even put the marriage in front, bro. Okay, even if it's lying, lie. Kid, football, wife, or kid, football, contract, then wife. Yeah, bumper down to 4, right? So, even though he's in trouble, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him. I really am. Because, it's not our fault. And it's not his fault. It's not anybody's fault on that team. It's the guy above that creates that environment. And so he was excited at first. Now he's been around for a week and he's going, so this is how they really do it? Yeah, where's the slide? Where's my barber? Where's my Papa shot?
Philadelphia's got the major league, the hot tubs. You got to start the engine
right.
So it gets the bubbles.
That's it. Telling you, dude.
Need an ice bath? We got a lake in the back there. Go lay it out there. It's perfect.
Great. It's absolutely great. What else? Edward Thurston, how I saw Journey last year with Cheap Trick and Def Leppard. All three bands still great. Yeah, actually, it's amazing how Robin Zander from Cheap Trick still sounds good, bro, in his 70s. And he still has power in his voice. Stephen Hill says, now you just listed all the queens of hip-hop except Lauryn Hill. Well, yeah, that's because she's not one. Yeah. What else do we have? I hope the Eagles can teach JP how to sack a QB. Watch them end up sacking QBs now. Just watch. It's just different when a player is around like competent other players and systems and all that kind of stuff. I would not be shocked if Jaylen Phillips looks really good in the Eagles uniform and with that team. I just wouldn't be surprised because environment changes everything. Everything for every player. If you have better coaches, if you have better players, if you have a successful system, everything. It changes everything. You know? So, anyway, just kind of insane. All right. What else do we have here? Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. And by the way, right now, Bitcoin is at 101, actually. So that is about it. So, Dolphins, by the way, I'm definitely not betting the Dolphins +9. I'm not touching that game. I feel bad for that game because I almost think it's an easy bet to lay the 9. 50. I don't know. I don't know what to. I know this. I'm not. I would love to take the dog and take the 9 points. Like I felt good about the Heat the other night. If it wasn't for Bam getting injured, felt good about that one, man. I know I would have won. Damn it. Injuries. Can't count on that shit, man. That's the stuff that just, But the Dolphins Bills favored by 9. They could easily win this game by 10 or more. Easy. I'm going to be interested to see how this team responds, man. I think guys will play hard, but I don't think they're going to play with a lot of organization, let's just say, and that's going to end up hurting you like it always does. That's the part that's going to suck, Anyway, we thank the great Larry Schlossberg, of course, who does excellent work out here. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley, always working hard. We appreciate all of you out there, as always. Thank you for keeping it locked here. We'll be back on Sunday. Oh, tomorrow, Saturday also. Well, we got a 7-day a week, actually. So, yeah, we'll be back Saturday. We'll have a post game for you. Manny Navarro will be joining us. So we'll have a little fun with Manny on Saturday. And then oh, yes, call him. I forgot. Send him the link. I forgot. Oh, okay. Okay. Wait a minute. That's right. We got to get the wise guy picks. We got to get the wise guy picks. Hold on. Let me. That's right. I almost forgot. Yeah. You know what? I forgot about that. Let's get the wise guy picks. Forgot about that. See? No, you did it. Thank you. Nice job. But you got to tell me a couple minutes before.
I mean, there was a communication. That's why you were ending. So I was like, oh, let me ask him real quick.
And Luis Herrera is right. It was just called The Mexican. He's way behind on the show. But yes, it was called The Mexican, right? Sidewalk Talk and The Mexican was from Jelly Bean Benitez. So we're awaiting Steve Calabro with the wise guy picks. So see if we can get him here. Here, talk to him just in case. All right, it's dialing right now. Just tell him, hey man, let's go, get on. Get you guys the wise guy picks, because he went 6-0 for 2 weeks in a row, and then last week he went 1-2, so he's got to bounce back this week. I'm expecting him to bounce back, so we're gonna get Steve Calabro on now, right? He's coming on. Okay.
I think we interrupted him here, but he's heading to his computer. 2 minutes.
Okay. All right, good. All right. So the wise guy has actually had a good year, but he got on this tear the last couple of weeks, and so he cooled down last week. Well, it was a wacky week. That's the thing. There were some wins that weren't supposed to happen, some teams that really shouldn't have won, but flukish stuff. It happens in football. Not to us Miami Dolphin fans, but to other teams. Unfortunately, it happens. So he went 1-2. Now he's got to bounce back and have a better week, and hopefully we'll get a couple of good picks from the great Steve Calabro, and of course the wise guy who is always dealing. The Bills will win by 20, says Edward. I hope so. That would be fantastic. It would be so fun to watch them win by 20. 40-10. Yeah, it's 50. Exactly. At 50. So Stephen Harris has it right at 50, 40-10. Yeah, it's a push. Push is no fun. As long as it's not long distance, then the guy will be all right. By the way, is Jason
he misses short ones too now?
Dude, is Jason Sanders ever coming back?
There's something more going on there, man.
Like, what happened to Jason Sanders?
They don't even talk. Nobody returning from the injured list. It's like,
yeah.
How did everybody was worse off than
he said that Jackson and Daniels might be coming back in a few weeks, but like, dude, how long are you going to wait? Like, how bad were those injuries?
By then you don't bring them back.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point,
yeah.
What are you bringing them back for?
They're injury prone. Why bring them back? Keep them healthy.
Put them on ice for next season.
Yeah. That way, at least you have your line and you have some of the guys healthy and ready to go for next year. Well, until they take the field.
To block for what? Fernando, right?
Yep. To block for Indiana boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Florida native.
Yeah.
Oh, we love him. Love him.
Out of the group this year so far, he's my number one.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean,
the Ohio State kid, I don't even know if he's coming out, but he would be my number 2.
I think Manny said he had to be one more year for the Ohio State kid.
Yeah, he has one more year, right?
Yep.
So he would be my number 2. I don't know about any of the other guys. I don't know enough about them. Haven't seen enough. I don't know if I would, because I'm also not for like just pick a quarterback because you need one.
Yeah. No, 100%.
You don't do that either. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Dolphins pull up the upset of the week. Dolphin Dave, I'm glad that the drugs are working well for you today. I mean, might as well. I mean, it's Friday, kick back, enjoy a little booze. I get it.
Could we get an AFC East conspiracy theory going here?
Oh, what's that?
All the coaches collude together and say, let's let them win a few games so they think Mike McDaniel has figured it out and they keep him. It's Stephen Ross we're dealing with.
Listen, anything is possible.
Josh Allen is 14-2 against the Dolphins, but Mike McDaniel figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a really stupid human being when it comes to football. And again, Stephen Ross has nothing around him. Clearly, he has nothing around him giving him any kind of good advice. Okay, so I don't know. Steve just accidentally called me, so I don't know if he's hit the wrong link, hit my phone instead of hitting the link or whatever. He's not necessarily the most technically savvy guy, so he's probably figuring stuff out. But soon we'll hear the boop, and then we'll get it going, and we'll have Steve. And we'll get the wise guy picks. Oh, man. By the way, what? Oh, here we go. There's the poop. All right. We got the poop. 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 You do? Oh, look out. Is he ready yet? Steve hasn't turned on his camera? Okay, he'll figure it out. Steve, you need a camera. Because we've got to see the porn stash move around here. Where is he? Not yet. No camera. Yeah, you need a camera because he's got to see. Oh, wait a minute. He popped out. He popped out, and now he needs to pop back in. This is too funny. By the way, if Inter loses, you know that Messi goes down as one of the biggest chokers in South Florida history. There's a lot on the line for Messi here in South Florida because he hasn't done shit for us. Okay? What he did at Barcelona, what he did at Argentina, that doesn't mean anything as an Inter Miami fan. They brought you here to win the cup. You better win the cup, dude. He's ready? All right, let's do it. The wise guy is ready to deal his picks, and Steve Calabro is in the house.
Noon. The wise guy picks at high noon, sort of high noon. Right, Big O?
That's it.
It's like, I'm going to say something that only people from Hialeah know, but I won't say the ethnic group, but it's an ethnic group, high noon.
There you go. Right. Yeah. Right. No, I can say it. You're on Cuban time. There's no doubt about it, but you're at Hialeah, so that's kind of, you've been infected. I mean, that's kind of what we do. By the way, did you see the open that Sean put together there?
Unbelievable. High noon. This is like, I've never been associated with a Western theme.
So you got to play it one more time. Play it one more time.
And it's... Oh boy, that's good. That's good. That's. I don't know if I've ever really been listed as a cowboy. Certainly not a Western cowboy, and the other kind of cowboys. But anyhow, it's all good.
It is the Wild Wild West here that we're picking. So that's kind of the way it goes. All right, Steve. So
you're an outlaw too.
That's it. You're kind of an outlaw. That is true.
I'm sort of an outlaw. Yeah. That's. Hey, listen. Right. Now you're gonna hate me when I say this next thing. So I didn't send you the picks yet, right?
No. So you can send them to me if you want, but if you have them, just say them.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. They're on my phone. My laptop is not working. So how bad is that? So we're just going to talk about it. I know that one of them I agreed with, two I didn't. But I'm going to try.
You know what they are?
Sort of. I got to go to them. So there might be a little bit of delay. There might be a smidge of a delay. That's I just want to. Let me try.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a 1-minute commercial. That'll give you time to go to the picks and come back. Okay?
Perfect. Sorry about that.
Let's take a quick break here, and then we'll be back with the Wise Guy picks.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
There you go.
All right, Steve. You ready?
I am ready, Big O. It's high noon, Hialeah high noon time.
Let's go.
The Jersey Wise guy picks are in.
All right, let's do it.
Get this one. Texas +1 over the Jags. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm 50-50 on that one.
Houston +1 versus the Jags. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no CJ Stroud. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't like it. Bears -5 over the G-Men. I don't even know if I like that one, but that's more of a sentimental thing. I like the Giants, but it's my second favorite team over the Dolphins. Next to the Dolphins.
The Giants suck. So
they do. So Bears might win. Bears might cover.
Yeah, Bears have a good defense, man.
Yeah.
I don't buy the quarterback because he's kind of erratic, but he's so talented that he has a tendency of getting lucky and making a couple passes. And if they can run the ball, it's amazing. The Bears have actually had a decent season. So
yeah, definitely. And look, here's the third pick. This one I like. This one I like a lot. I'm agreeing with the Jersey Wise guy on this one. The Seahawks -6.5 over the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are in trouble. They're done. They're in the bottom 5, in my opinion.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think? You think you like that?
I know the Cards have played well the last couple of weeks because they've kept Jabroni in there. But Seattle is playing so well right now. The quarterback's playing out of his mind. The defense is playing well. I like Seattle, and I believe they're home in this one, correct?
Yes.
So I actually understand being favored by a touchdown here. I can see them easily winning by a touchdown. They're a much better team than the Cards right now. Yes, I like that, and I can see the wheels coming off Jabroni. After playing well the last couple of weeks, eventually he's going to go back to being Jabroni. I like it in this game, in that Seattle atmosphere with the 12th man. I can see him becoming Jabroni again.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Hey, I got a bonus. Jersey Wise guy has a bonus pick. I don't like the bonus pick. I'm not even. I wasn't even going to tell you. He likes. Now this is going to be a great game, though. The Bucks -2.5 over the Pats. I mean, there's a lot of talk about, the both quarterbacks are great and blah blah. This is going to be a big game. This is a really good.
And it's in Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a field goal game, basically.
Yeah.
I can see that there's going to be a tough game all the way to the end. Yeah, I can understand that pick. Now, do I like it? No, not as much because the Pats are pretty good, man.
Yeah, they're a good team. They're a real good team.
Yeah, and I like that coach. I was hoping he'd be our coach. But yeah, that one's good. All right, so we've got Houston +1 versus the Jags. We've got the Bears -5 versus the Giants. We've got the Seahawks -6.5 versus the Cards. And we've got the Bucks -2.5 versus the Pats. So 3 favorites and 1 dog for the and really the first 3 picks. The bonus is not part of the whole the whole thing. Okay, just so you know.
And remember the Jersey Wise guy last week? Not a good week, 1-2, but prior 2 weeks, 3-0, 2 in a row, 3-0, 2 weeks in a row, and he's on a little roll. So I think he's bouncing back today.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so, because I was doing really good the last couple of weeks, and then this past week was kind of rough. So I need him to bounce back this week.
Now, listen, I want to leave you with this. I'm going to the Buffalo game, and I'm going with my wife, and she's informed me that she's going to be rooting for. She has a new football fan. She's not really watching the Dolphins anymore, rooting for the Dolphins anymore, because you can't really root for the Dolphins this year. So she's rooting not for the Bills, but for Josh Allen. No, for Josh Allen.
Oh, I'm rooting for the Eagles now.
Well,
I'm rooting for your son. I'm rooting for your son now. Why? They got Jaylen Phillips, bro. He's a good kid. And
yeah.
And I bet you he ends up playing well there, part of a good organization. He's freaking out. He's talking about how great it is there and all that. And that's because he's shocked now that he's like, wow, this is what a real organization looks like. And so You know, the poor kid.
The fans care there and are passionate, very passionate.
He just said that his Instagram post got 20 times the hit that he ever gotten before. So it was kind of like a backhanded shot to the fans in Miami, that the fans in Philly were a lot more active on social media. How about that?
So think about where we're at as Dolphin fans, Big O. I'm going to go to the game, and my wife and I are going to be rooting for Josh Allen, and you're a Dolphin fan, and you're rooting for the Eagles.
Well, I'm rooting. I'm rooting for Jaylen Phillips. I hope he has a hell of a year, and I hope he wins a title for himself. You know, because that's what the hell, bro. You know, that's the kind of my Dolphin tie to it. So I wish the kid well. He's a good kid, man. He was building a house here, married, was having a kid, and now you trade him, and he didn't want to go anywhere. And it's going to end up becoming a blessing in disguise professionally for him that he's going to have this experience. So good for him, man.
It's a 2-hour flight. 2-hour flight. He can live here and play in Philly and enjoy Philadelphia and have a good career.
Exactly.
So it's good for him.
Yeah, bless him, man. I hope he has a lot of success out there. All right, Steve. Appreciate you as always, my brother. Thank you for the Jersey Wise Guy picks, my man.
All right, take care, guys. Good luck.
All right, there you go. And visit our friends down there at Hialeah Park. They're giving away a beautiful Chevy Silverado, bro. Oh, man, that thing is nasty. And so the more you play the slot machines, the more entries you get there at Hialeah Park in those loose slots. So go check it out there at Hialeah Park and get the Hialeah Park Sports app too, so you can make some bets. Let's see, what else do we have? Kyler Murray, are you serious? Trade Tua for Murray? Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. What else? Did you see Jabroni and the Dolphins uni? What's next? Trade McDandy? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a silly conversation you guys having over there. You're going to have a new general manager and a new coach. And when they get a quarterback, they're not going to trade for Kyler Murray or anything like that. They're going to draft their own young guy at one point or another. And we'll see where Miami ends this year. We'll see what happens, because I don't believe if you don't have number one and you can't get the Indiana kid, I don't know if I'm going for another quarterback. So you might wait till next year and just keep building the team or something like that. That's maybe what you do. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And you can pick up some kind of reclamation project somewhere else or something like that. So who knows? But it is what it is. All right, folks, we appreciate it. We thank, of course, Steve Calabro. We thank the amazing Larry Schlossberg, always getting it done. We thank, of course, Sean Stanley, the one and only. We appreciate all of you that tuned in. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Get us over 100 already. Let's go. We're at 94. We only need 6 more to get over the mark. And by the way, Bitcoin pumping a 101,890. So it's looking to get to 102 now. We'll see if it starts. I think it's going to start pumping a week from now. I think we'll have another shady week, and then the back 2 weeks of November, and then December is when we get a massive pump. I think that's what's going to happen. So those of you that bought the dip, God bless you. You took advantage of it. You know what you're doing. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you on Saturday, post-game for the Dolphins and Cuse. For the Canes and Cuse. And then on Sunday, we'll see you for the pre and post for Dolphins and Bills. See you same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.